Hands down, knowing truly is half the battle in order to protect oneself or get yourself out from under a narcissist grasp. But unfortunately, just like anything else as complex as narcissistic personality disorder is more prone to misconceptions and myths. So I wanted to go over 4 of the most dangerous, commonly told and believed myths about narcissists and narcissistic abuse. Myth number 1, pathological narcissists only make up for 0.5 to 5% of the world's population, when in reality, these numbers are about as relevant as a spit in the ocean and drastically undermine the severity of the issue, not just due to the fact that narcissists aren't exactly lining up in the street waiting for their turn to see the psychiatrist to get officially diagnosed. And 2, if they ever do find themselves sitting in front of one, it is not out of their own free will, but rather have gotten themselves into a situation where being there benefits them more so than to not, and as such are fully prepared to put on their best Academy Award-winning performance, using the best manipulative tricks up their sleeve to baby bird feed the psychiatrist with, resulting in many being diagnosed inaccurately or missed altogether. But the biggest problem isn't necessarily that it isn't highlighted that there's truly no real way of knowing what percentage pathological narcissists make up for the world's population, or that most will go their entire life without ever being officially diagnosed, but more so in that rarely is it mentioned, and even less so studied to statistically determine how many people are affected by narcissistic abuse, as unlike most other disorders outside of antisocial personality disorder, the biggest problems and impacts that this disorder has on one's life isn't to the narcissist, but rather those on the receiving end of the narcissist wrath, and in my opinion is one of the biggest reasons for why it seems like there's now this sudden influx of narcissists as people are becoming educated and learning about what is actually happening to them and coming forward and speaking up about it. And though the one study that I was able to find that came even remotely close to representing this key factor, yet didn't even touch a sword in being realistically accurate due to it being based off a narcissist having 5 romantic partners throughout their lifetime, which is, for one, a joke, and 2, doesn't even touch base on all of the other relationships and people that this abuse detrimentally impacts on their life, including their children, siblings, parents, extended family, friends, co-workers, etc. Even still, despite this being far under a true representation, statistically took these numbers from roughly 40 million to 400 million to becoming 200 million to 2 billion individuals affected, and goes to show how it drastically downsizes the severity of this and why these numbers are about as full of bullshit as the narcissist themselves. Myth and misconception number 2, that it is the disorder behind and reason for these toxic behaviors and not necessarily the person, which I think stems from the fact that personality is literally within the name of this disorder, when what really separates narcissists from that the average person isn't just from a disordered personality, but more so derives from their inherently evil character. Their actions and decisions are solely driven by personal gain, purposefully go out of their way to inflict harm on others without having an ounce of remorse for the harm that they've inflicted, repeatedly exhibiting these patterns of behavior without any genuine efforts to change or improve, having no intersubjective understanding from their lack of effective empathy and lack of object constancy, leading to their thinking and behaving completely ass backwards to that of the average person, as well as how they perceive others and themselves, and why trying to deal with them or interact with them from the context or framework of an average person simply doesn't work, no matter how hard you try, which ties in to misconception number 3, that all they need is love, love, love. Love is all they need. When quite frankly, whether you love or hate a narcissist makes not one hill of beans of a difference, because it is not your love that they are after. They do not enter into relationships, grow a connection, or form a bond. They do not seek or desire to have a partner to whom is on the same page as them. Everything is about them and their being delusionally more superior and above everyone else. period. If they're not ready to fully discard someone, they can put on quite a show and are very well versed in coming across as if they want to do better, be better, and work on the relationship, leading others to feel and to believe that love truly is the magical band-aid that will fix it all. So they can later on rip this magic love band-aid right off of you before they flick it at your forehead and then go ahead and kick you in the shins just for shits and giggles. Because the harsh reality is that there is no amount of love or compassion in the world that is going to do any good for a narcissist or get you any better of an outcome. Actually, to the contrary, because the more love and compassion you pour into these people, the more abusive they become, because this proves to them that they can still take full advantage over you. Love can't cure, fix, or help a narcissist because they don't want your help any more than they want to be fixed. Misconception and myth number 4. The only reason one attracts or ever finds themselves in a relationship with a narcissist is due to their being vulnerable, codependent, or allowing for themselves to be controlled. And though, sure, there are plenty of instances where one is a codependent prior to getting in a relationship with a narcissist. But that being said, narcissists do not just go after the vulnerable, wounded, and the naive. And these manipulative, mind-fucking machines can turn even the most confident, well-rounded, emotionally intact, and intelligent, educated individual that has their shit together into codependent lickety-split. Because truly, nobody in their right state of mind gets involved with somebody, narcissist or not, to be brain-fucked, manipulated, controlled, stripped of their independence and the very essence of who they are. Hell no. And in reality, most don't even realize they are being abused for so long. And to just say that no one is capable of taking advantage of you unless you allow them to do so denies the ineffable weight of fear that an abuser has over its victim, a fear that lasts far longer once the relationship is over or the narcissist is out of the picture, so to speak. It denies the deliberate but discreet ways that the narcissist gaslights, brainwashes, and grooms their supply, transforming and training them to become merely puppets on a string strung along at the command of these twisted puppet masters. It denies the physiological changes that take place in their brain due to the prolonged, repetitive psychological torture that the narcissist intentionally bestows upon them. Now, and I totally get why no one wants to believe that anyone has the power to be able to do this, or that these type of people truly exist. But whether or not someone is or isn't a narcissist does not give them the right to abuse, manipulate, and psychologically torture someone at all. Nor was it your fault, and you most definitely did not deserve this. Nothing good comes from staying with one of these individuals, as these people are ruthless, relentless, vindictive, conniving, and purely are inherently evil. You are worth and deserve so much more. Focus on you. Fuck the narcissist.